If you didn't know this was the home of a Broadway producer, it wouldn't take long to figure it out.
I'm feeling like your top dog. That's the New York vibe.
I was born and raised in Queens and Brooklyn, and being from New York, I had access to Broadway, so I started going to Broadway at a very, very young age.
Long before Jack Lane became executive producer at Stages St. Louis, he was appearing on other producers' stages.
Oh, just how much I care.
I did a lot of soap work and a lot of film work. But I have to tell you, as an actor, whether it was theater or film or TV, when I was there and I was present, I was always going, I would do it that way. And it was producer, director head. It always was.
But it was Jack's performance as Tony in a 1982 upstate New York summer stock production of West Side Story that would change the course of his career and his life. The director-choreographer of that production was Michael Hamilton.
And he told me of a dream he had to go back to St. Louis, where he was from, Kirkwood, Missouri, to open a theater company.
Not long after, the two friends became life partners and then business partners.
I was getting disillusioned as an actor. I really was. It's like, this is really not for me. And then he said, why don't we try to open this theater company? There's a theater. It's the Kirkwood Community Center Theater. And we thought, let's just give this a shot. And I remember saying, if we do this, we have to present a season. It can't be one show. It has to be 3 shows. We have to be making a statement of we are doing a season.
And they did, starting in the summer of 1987, opening with Dames at Sea, with Jack as one of the leads and Michael Hamilton directing, performing in a cramped auditorium built for organ recitals, not splashy Broadway musicals.
By the time we got to our 3rd show, I Do, we had tripled the audience size. So instead of 60 people, there was a little under 200 people in the audience. And there was like 8 performances per production. And we thought we might have something here. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And by the 5th season, we had like 3,000 subscribers. I mean, it just kind of exploded.
Both Jack and Michael would continue to appear on stage occasionally, but their full-time jobs were backstage, with Michael serving as artistic director and Jack as executive producer. In 2012, Jack also began producing on Broadway, commuting between St. Louis and New York. His first show was Peter and the Starcatcher, based on the novel by St. Louis author Ridley Pearson. Jack has since helped produce numerous Broadway shows, which as of the spring of 2023 include Peter Pan Goes Wrong and a new musical called And Juliet. His shows have won 3 Tonys and received 5 Tony nominations. Then, in the summer of 2022, with Stages now in residence at the new and much larger Kirkwood Performing Arts Center, Jack's 2 worlds became one. The show was The Karate Kid the Musical, the first ever pre-Broadway tryout in St. Louis theater history. Jack says he is sure it will not be the last.
People went crazy for it. And I love people who were, came in with a little chip on their shoulder, ha ha ha, Karate Kid the Musical. It's gonna be another one of those 80s movies put on stage, here we go. And then they'd walk out at the end of the 2nd act and go, oh my God, I didn't know it was gonna be that moving and that beautiful.
Focus.
The Karate Kid the Musical would turn out to be the first production of Jack Lane's final season with Stages St. Louis. He retired in 2022, but will continue on for a while as a paid consultant and forever as a friend of the company.
Stages will always be in my heart, but when I leave something, I leave something. And it was time.
There's something to any day. I will know right away.
Jack Lane was still in his 20s when he gave this performance at a friend's wedding. He picked the song Something's Coming from West Side Story, since he had just learned it for that summer stock production he was about to join, the one directed and choreographed by Michael Hamilton. And although he didn't know it at the time, the lyrics could not have been more apt. And more than 40 years later, they still are.
Something's coming, I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great.
I have a lot of dreams for myself as a producer in New York, which I hope then to bring some of it to stages. What I have learned at stages, I apply it every day to what I do in New York and vice versa. What I learn in New York, I apply to stages. And I will continue to share that with stages. So it's having both worlds is great.
I'm home!
It was about creating the very best product we possibly could. We just dove in and we just never stopped.